We do hope that you are enjoying the program so far. Thank you so much for keeping it Y in the morning. My name is Shiko Kaitani, part of the trio that comes your way every single weekday from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. And of course, that's Kalami Val, Mr. Barry Moses, and myself. A big thank you to Kalami Val for that fantastic interview with Tracy Ngeno. Remember, if you do want to vote in our model, send in a text to 21585 and of course send in the word MEK in capital letters 027. That is MEK 027 to 21585. Now, this being our Women's Wednesday, it's all about celebrating you queens and of course discussing women's issues. And today on the show, we are focusing on sex work amongst young women. You may be asking, is it right? Is it wrong? Most importantly, the numbers are rising, and what we want to know is, should these women have, of course, a voice? We want to hear your opinion, of course, on the matter, and you can go ahead and let us know through our Twitter handle. I'll be giving you that in just a second, or you can go ahead and send in a regular text to that SMS number, which is 22162. Now, in studio with me is Carol Njoroge on my far right, who is a programs coordinator at the Kenya Sex Workers Alliance. We also do have Olive Acheng, who is a sex worker from Mathare North, and we also do have Joyce Nguje, who is a contributor to the show. And finally, we do have Gladys Chania, who is the founder of Right at Home Rehabilitation Center. Karibuni sana, ladies.
Asante sana.
Okay. Now, before we begin this discussion, we'd like to give a disclaimer here that Y254 is not for or against sex work, but we are here to be impartial and, of course, tell you the stories as is. We definitely respect our guests who are in studio, and if you feel the need to contribute to today's discussion, we want to urge you to contribute constructively, okay? And any form of bashing or insults will not be aired on this program. So ladies, let's begin with you, Carol. First of all, of course, we will term it as prostitution or, you know, commercial sex work, right? But I want to hear why you feel that we're labeling it wrong. Why is it not commercial sex work?
Shiko, prostitution is not a name to use for someone who is earning a living from a particular job.
Yeah.
The reason why we disagree with the commercial sex workers is because we are all working to earn a living.
Right.
I trade sex to earn money, and you do journalism to earn money. So as much as I'm not calling you a commercial journalist because you're earning money, or a commercial doctor, or a commercial mamamboga, so I would like my job to be respected and let me be called just a sex worker, just the same way that we call the drivers, the journalists, Mama Kioks.
Okay, so prostitution is illegal in Kenya. How are you able to function, first of all, as an organization, as an alliance?
First of all, sex work is not illegal in Kenya.
What is?
It is a crime.
It's a crime?
Yes.
Okay.
Sex work is not illegal in Kenya. There is no policy or in the constitution where it says that sex work is illegal in Kenya. But we have the Penal Code and the Sexual Offences Act and the bylaws that talk about sex workers. The Penal Code talks about living off the earnings of sex work. So that does not criminalize the sex worker who is trading for sex directly, but it criminalizes the third person who is living off the earnings. That is the shopkeeper, the supermarket where I buy, my landlord, should be charged with sex work and not me who is trading sex work directly.
So as the alliance, what is your mandate? What do you set out to do?
So Kenya Sex Workers Alliance is into being to advocate for sex workers' rights as human rights. And this is done through awareness raising, capacity strengthening, advocacy, and organizational development. it came to be to amplify the voices of sex workers, and mostly to like the sex workers to access health services and live as other human beings. So we advocate for the rights of sex workers, and we also look more into how we can work in reducing the violence against sex workers, which really drives and contributes to the HIV prevalence among sex workers in Kenya.
All right. Okay, so before we get to Olive and to Joyce, Madam Chania, you've done extensive work with your organization right at home, and you've been in the business of rehabilitating sex workers, mostly in Thika. Now, tell us about that, and even, you know, as we're looking at it as a social rights issue from Carol's point of view, you view it as a social ill.
That is very true. To the viewers and my panelists, again, I'm Madam Chania. I'm a child and adult psychologist, and I double as the director of the Right at Home Rehabilitation Center. We rehabilitate different social ills, from alcohol and drug abuse to, I don't want to talk about to sex work. I'll say to all other addicts. Could be on our way. Carol will agree with me that it can be an addiction.
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, it is a social ill in one way or the other. And it all depends with how someone got into it. It's not everyone, and it's good that we have the people who are in its shoes. It's not everyone who is in sex work deliberately or intentional. There are some other agents that drive them to be there. There are some who, if they get alternatives, they'll be as out from the work as yesterday. And that is why it is a nail. It is a nail again because it is in our penal code, like Carol is trying to explain. Anything that is not a nail, it is not termed as a crime. Anything termed as a crime is a social ill. And a social ill will always have its very direct repercussions to a society.
Okay, now let's look at the facts here. More and more young people, women mostly, are looking at this, like you said, as a viable plan, because, you know, it's very easy for the rest of us to point fingers and say, why are they doing this, why are they doing this? But, you know, there are many, many reasons. And a lot of people want to know is why would they get into it? So, Olive, this is where you come in. How old are you, Olive?
I'm now 35.
You're 35. Okay, so why did you decide to become a sex worker?
Naweza ongea na Kiswahili.
Of course. Karibu sana.
Kitu ilituma nikakuwa sex worker ni juu kupitia na zile mambo nimepitia kwa life. Kitu ya kwanza nilikuwa nafanyia mtu job, ananiacha kwa hao na bwana yake, akakuja akanichukua kama sasa bibi wake, nikatoroka, nikaanza kwenda kwa street. Nikaanza kwenda tao, inabidi sasa naangalia, ai sasa niko na mimba, hii mimba hakuna venye nitafanya nini? Nitaweza kuikaa nayo. Ikabidi nikaanza kufanya hiyo kazi kusudi niweze kuzaa huyu mtoto, nione venye ndamlea. Sasa secondly ikabidi sasa ningie kabisa kwa sasa ilifika mahali palinakaa ni kwa kibanda na mtoto. Sasa hiyo ikafika time sasa nikikapo watu wakakuja wakavunja hiyo kibanda, wakanirape, nikapata the second one. So nikafight hapo, nikaona pana sasa ni kuingia tao kufanya sasa hii itabidi nifanye ndio watoto wangu wafanye nini? Wa survive. Juma linakaa si nyumba, ni space ya ploti. Ile imebaki sasa hapo ndi kupiga tu hiyo mbao naishi hapo. Sasa nimekaa hapo, still bado naifanya, hata sasa hii sijalala, nimetoka job. At least nipate so mbili. Asubuhi nipatie watoto wangu kunywe chai, waende shule. Bila hiyo hakuna mali naweza survive. Natokanga asubuhi ni by saa 10 nilikuwa kwa nyumba. So ni kitu tunafanya cause ni pain pia kuona mtoi akiokota vitu chini akikula. Uone mtoi anaanza kuiba vitu za watu huku nje akienda kuuza. Inabidi tufanye hivyo pia sisi wenyewe, tuone watu wetu wana grow. Fanya job si ati ni mbaya. Ndio kwetu ni mbaya lakini inabidi.
Wow. Joyce, what do you have to say about that? You've had friends, colleagues who are also in the same line. What do you have to add to that? Even just listening to Olive's story.
Okay, really, her story is, I would say it's totally different from these women all have different stories.
Yeah.
So for her, really, what led her to that, it's not something she looked for, you know, it was, she had no other choice, you know. And I'm sorry about it, you know, it has really touched me. Being a single mom, I know. But then again, there are women who I think do it for fun, or it's like a fetish to them. Yeah. There are some who do it for the money. I have friends of mine who have done it not because they lack. I know a friend of mine who was in a good relationship, claiming she loves this man, but she still goes back to the street.
Wow.
So, and I kept asking, why are you going back to the street? This man is providing. You have roof over your head.
And that's what she was talking about, this addiction that comes in.
Exactly, I think. And to some, it's an addiction. Others, it's a fetish. Okay, that's my, I mean, for me, because I have friends, my dear, who I don't understand why they go to the streets to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's some who are even married and they're going to the streets to do it.
I've read about that they are actually married sex workers.
Yeah, they are.
And how does that play out for them in terms of their relationships? Because you work with them, or at least you help them.
So sex workers is categorized into three. There are prepaid sex workers, postpaid sex workers, and sex workers on contract.
What? No, I think you need to say that again. What?
So sex work is categorized into three. So there are prepaid sex workers on contract, and sex workers on postpaid. And all are sex workers. Like when you are a prepaid sex worker, it's like the tokens that we use nowadays.
Oh my God.
So I have to go out there, stand, seduce a man, be it on the street or in a venue or in a brothel, and then I'm paid instantly.
Right.
So that is the prepaid sex worker. Nipe nikupe. Kama si biashara ujito.
Ujikate.
The postpaid sex workers are sex workers who are in a relationship. And they're still doing sex at the same time. And in those relationships, they're actually in those relationships with the sponsors because they want to get that money, and the sponsor wants to get sex in exchange, the services.
Yes.
And the sex workers on contract are our married,
holier than thou
women
who pretend. I even want to bring that up. And by the way, Madam Chania, this is very interesting. By the way, let me even just sit nicely. Wow. Joyce, listen. There's this, and Carol, no, I want to expound on that. Joyce, do you agree with me that we also have this pretentious group of people who have their regular 9-to-5 job, but then after 5 p.m. are a totally different person?
Oh yeah.
And she has a nice description.
Yes. And they're there. We have the girls, our Mademo exhibition, those selling phones on town, our Mombasa house water. They are all part-time sex workers.
What?
Yes. University students.
They are all part-time sex workers. And you know, sex work is the oldest industry in the world. And so there is no way, sorry, I don't disagree with you, there is no way that you can rehabilitate one from a sex worker, because there's this slogan that says, once a sex worker, always a sex worker. I've been on the streets, born and brought up in the streets. Since the age of 14, I was trading sex for money. And now that I'm working for the Kenya Sex Workers Alliance, I'm a part-time sex worker, because I also have clients who, I'm a call girl, actually.
Olive.
Yes, nakusikia. Sema.
Okay, utasemaje and unaonaje, like in terms of venye watu huongea society, wanakujudge sana or
kujudge? Naye lazima watajudge, cause inafika mahali unataka hata mtu asikupate ukiwa machokavu, hata fadhali utumie cocaine, hata ujidunge shindano. At least ukienda kufanya hiyo kitu usikumbuke kenye ulikuwa unafanya. Kwa kila mtu ananijudge ndio, but inabidi nifaitie. Hata ni wengi wananiulizanga, naambia inabidi, cause bila mimi hawa toinda wa lose. na si mimi peke yangu.
And as a mother you will do anything.
Ni group ya watu wengi. Sasa hata tukiangalia vizuri, sasa hata kuna mali sasa hata siwezi enda kusimama cause nikiangalia. Naona sasa tena nasimama tena na msichana kwa na 14 years. Nikiangalia vizuri naona huyu mwingine ni mwili tu. Na kona 13. Sasa narudi tena na feel shame, naenda place nyingine. Nikienda place nyingine sasa. Nikienda place nyingine narudi napatana na mtu yule namuita mama. Uwezi kana madhe yako hapo. Wewe unataka ukule, madhe yako anataka kule. Ni hard. Inabaki huyo mama akufukuze mbio. Hii ni place yangu, wewe ndio utafute mali pengine.
So kila mtu akona kona yake. So territories are there. Venye mahoka wako nasema this is my space.
Kabisa.
Madam Chania, I know you have a lot to say, but I read one of your interviews from a local newspaper, and the writer said that Madam Chania lamented that Thika was currently witnessing an upsurge of street commercial workers who were openly and shamelessly trading their wares on the streets. And then you apparently went on to say that in some buildings within the town, there are existing businesses whose rooms have been subdivided to provide room for illegal lodgings. And you said, how do you explain a business which sells pork to unsuspecting clients, but behind it, the owner has subdivided to create room for beds where commercial sex workers trade with impunity?
Yeah, that is true. But as I get to that, I think it's good if I can address Carol's concern that always as once a sex worker, always a sex worker, and how the rehabilitation comes in. Even as in psychology, we believe once an addict, always an addict. And we don't have a recovering addict. We don't have a recovered addict. We have a recovering addict. So if in psychology I term you as an addict, a sex addict, I know there is no way you'll be a recovered addict. You'll always be a recovering addict. Where do we come in rehabilitating sex workers? We come in empowerment. Why are you the chairperson of KESWA? It is because you are empowered. You are not at the same level with what is her name?
Olive.
With Olive. Yeah? You have said you are on call, isn't it? You don't do it now full time. You can get a call, come, I'm at this place or meet at this place, isn't it? Not unlike some years ago when you were also full-time at the street. So you have been rehabilitated by the empowerment that you have gotten. And that is a level that someone like Olive now can also attain. Once she attained that, she's getting into a level of rehabilitation. She can have something to give to her children even without first going to the street. She can be able to go to the street for 1 hour and not for 12 hours. That is a way of getting rehabilitated.
So it's a process, it's not an overnight thing.
It is not an overnight thing. There is a time, and I know she'll disagree, but for the sake of the viewers, we'll disagree and agree. There's a time that can come in the process. She stop going to that street because it's going to that call, even when she has been called, because could be she is busy doing something else, could be even tethering to her organization to an extent she don't have time to go. But she still has that urge of could be getting there because it is once an addict, always an addict, and of which it can come out of her by good will. And it can happen. We'll come to that. About now what she, again still on Carol, about what she said about the penal code and crime versus illegality. Now what you have read here about our article, I think it was for 2015 or 2014, that is now where it comes in. How does it become illegal? How does it become a crime? You talked about the third party, and I agree with you. By the way, you are very informed. That one I give you a thumbs up. I agree with that completely. The third party. The people who do the brothels are not the sex workers. You hear? This is a person who is selling pork at the front, and backyard, he has subdivided the two brothels and put beds. So when you see people entering, you think they're entering for some pork meat. Kuba, they are entering to go and find an Olivia inside there. That is now the person Caro is saying, should be prosecuted for commercial sex work. Because that now he's doing it as a business and he's not the beneficiary of the sex itself. That's how it comes in. And they are agents of increasing these numbers. Because even when we try to empower those who would want to be out, they cannot be empowered because the agents and the actors are just too many.
There are too many.
Yes.
The madams, the pimps, or the brothel owners, the biasharas.
The biasharas.
Okay. All right, so we've got Barry Moses, who's on set, who's here to sample a few of your views on today's discussion. Do you believe that sex workers should definitely have a voice, number one? Whether it's right or wrong, we asked you, of course, to please give constructive feedback on today's discussion. Barry Moses, Karibu on set. What are some of our viewers saying?
Thank you very much, Chico.
Yeah.
I appreciate the panel first.
Yeah.
I respect your struggles in each and everywhere. I go by the name of Barry Moses, and I'll be taking you through social media, or it's Barry Mo on every social media platform. I'd like to remind you, our Twitter handle is Y254 channel, and on Twitter there's a pinned tweet with a poll, and the question goes something like, should sex workers have a voice, or the Twilight girls have a voice? Just send your vote in. We'll be very grateful. So on to my first text. This is, he forgot to leave his name again, but I'll read the question straight away. How do your family take your work? As in, are they supportive? I think that is directed to Olive.
Yeah, Olive wanaonaje?
Familia yangu.
Yeah, familia yako.
Okay, familia yangu venye wanakonga wamenichukua walinitupa kitambo nje. So
hata wako.
Sai ni watoto wangu na wewe na Mungu.
Na watu hii wanajua?
Yeah. Wanajua. Niliwaambia mimi ndio breadwinner. Na kila kitu nafanya sifanyi kwa kupenda kwangu. Nafanya juu yenu. Msome at least.
Are there moments where you feel like, by the way, you want to break down, unalia, yani
because it's painful pia. It's painful.
Okay.
Lazima we feel because wewe ni mzazi. Na sasa wamefika watoto wangapi? 4.
Waliongezeka wengine 2.
Okay.
All right, on to my next text. He forgot to leave his name as well. Please remember to leave your name so we can send you a shout out. So this guy asks, wondering, do sex workers pay tax since they have said it's a job? That's the first question. And secondly, what's their family's reaction when they realize that you are a sex worker? So
Carol, I think that's to you.
Okay, so as an organization, we are registered. We are legally registered in Kenya as the Key Affected Populations Health and Legal Rights Alliance, and we do returns to KRA and we report back to the NGO board. As a sex worker, I pay tax indirectly. This is because I am not registered individually, but everything in Kenya is kona VAT. So I shop in supermarkets, I pay tax. I'm living as the other person who is doing an illegal job. Hawkers also pay tax. They also pay taxes because they shop and they pay their houses that wanalipaga izo matax indirectly.
Yes.
Yes.
So for you, it's the exact same setup. The same way that they are informal businesses, sectors, it is the same thing for you. So when you go to the supermarket, you are paying your tax.
I'm paying my tax.
pay as you earn.
No, I'm not paying as I earn, as the organization.
Yes.
It is the same. I'm also paying as I earn.
Yes.
What I am earning is what I am paying. Yes.
Wow. Well, we're gonna get into in terms of the government's role and their view also on this. And Carol, I know you're gonna be very vocal on that. So let's take a look at.
Yes, I knew this topic was going to be a hot one. From the text keeps streaming in, and the next one is sex workers deserve respect. Call Jack a Jack, call a spade, but always call a sex worker a lady.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Mad respect from the people. Then he follows up with a question. The lady from Alliance of Sex Workers, why should you do it and you have money and good English.
Oh, wow.
How does good English? Okay.
You're well spoken.
Yes, you can express yourself.
Yes.
I said earlier, we are all working to earn money. A qualified doctor who is working at Kenyatta Hospital has a private pharmacy out there. So when you're tested there, enda upimwe kwa ile chemist iko pale nje, kwa laboratory iko pale nje. Cause anataka kuan hiyo extra cash. So I'm doing it not because of circumstances, but by choice. I want to earn an extra income.
So your reason and Olive's reason is completely different.
My reason is I'm working to earn a living. I started in the same way because I used to live in Nairobi. I'm born and brought up in Nyamakema, here in town. I started the same way, but once you realize that you are working for a reason and that sex work is work and it's dignified work, that sex workers respect dignity, respect and be protected by the law and respected by other people, then you start working for a living and you earn more once you realize that sex work is work.
Okay.
But when you work in the fear of what will the society perceive about me, what will my family say about me, my family does not bring bread on my table.
So even you are open with them and they know?
My family does not bring bread on my table.
But they know?
Yes. The society does not bring bread on my table. If I mind about what my neighbor will say, my neighbor will not come to pay my rent in an apartment that I'm living. If my constitution has allowed me, and it is very specific, anything that you work, anything that you do and gives you livelihood, it brings bread on your table, is work. Why not work as a sex worker and earn?
By Moses.
Yes, that was deep. That was deep. On to my next text. Hi. When you meet a client and he's insisting on unprotected sex act, how do you prevent yourself from contracting HIV? Especially when you're under a drug, only because I don't trust when you have induced a drug, you can control yourself. Edgar from Yes. Edgar, thank you very much for leaving your name.
Olive umesikia hiyo?
Okay, hata tukiwa kwa drug. First thing before uende hapo, lazima uko umetumia ile kondom ya mademu. Uko umejiwekea. Because kabla notice itakuwa rahisi. Si rahisi ajue.
Yeah.
Unaweka selo ushaanza kutumia drug, ile condom lazima iko inshaanza kuwaka kwa body ya. Selo na spend na yeye. Itakuwa ngumu sana.
And I want to actually get into some of these issues that they are facing. Tuambia about hizo mashida unapitia kwa kazi. Because I feel Carol and even Madam Chania, you can also expound on that. Yeah.
So shida ile tunapitia kwa kazi, most of them tuseme sana Wahindi. Wahindi ni disturbance. Because hakuna mwindi atakubali uspend na yeye akikuface ni ngumu. Mwindi anataka ayuse back. So hiyo pia ni challenge ile tunapitia. Ndio sometimes tunahipa hao Wahindi. Unapata mtu pengine ataka spend na wewe kwa day, pata anakupatia 500 bob. Na mwindi ataspend na wewe na nyuma anaweza kupatia even 4,000. Yeah. Shida nyingine pia pale tumesimama pia tukiangalia vizuri. Unapata umepata mteja. Mteja huwezi muendea hivyo. Juu lazima uangalie ule askari anatokea huko. Akikuona atakushika na lazima umpatie yake ya macho. Upate hiyo ndio squad ya kwanza umeendea.
Okay, all right. Carol, this is where you come in, by the way. We've seen quite a number of arrests that happen with sex workers. And unwarranted, that's what they term it as part of the challenges you face. The government, how are they treating your people?
Let me say, since the existence of CASWA, we've really tried to have the government buy in. That is the health government, and we are also working very closely with the county governments.
Yeah.
The health department of county. So it has really helped. If you compare the violence against sex workers before, and how we started working with the government through the health. Yeah. It has really changed because we have really done a lot of lobby and advocacy, targeting the religious leaders, the county governments, the police, the city askaris, because those are the main perpetrators of sex workers. So it has really reduced the arrests. Yeah. Because the police now understand why we need to protect the rights of sex workers. And this is because we are protecting also other people who are not sex workers when we have a good rapport with the sex workers. Currently we are having the UN AIDS target of the 1990, and we cannot reach the target if we have a community, a targeted community that feels that is not part of the society. If we really want to have HIV prevalences among our heterosexual and married men reduction, we really need to look more and concentrate on sex workers.
Okay, Madam Chane, what do you have to say to that? Because I can see you're boiling. Yes. Please tell us what you have to say, and even in terms of the government's role on how to deal.
I think we should have Carol work for the Ministry of Health and Beyond Zero campaign. Yeah. And so we are going to prevent a lot of mother-to-child transmissions and deaths. And I'm serious on this. Yes. She has a lot of knowledge. And Carol, and on the air, I would like to urge you to agree. Sex work is a menace, and you'll be able to help so many women in this country. Olivia is not at the same level with Carol. Carol is already empowered, very, very empowered. And it's because she also had something that she learned from the sex work as a work. And so she's not living impoverished from the sex work. Okay. The problems that Olivia has spoken about, that is what is really,
even from your experience with those in Thika.
Yes, the ones who come to me, they come to seek help because they are in the work, they would like to come out of it, they cannot make it, and because of some of the issues that Olivia has spoken about. Here is work that has addicted you to be in. Here is drugs that you started using so that you can be able to do the work. And then the drug then take toll on you.
So they have to be high. In most cases they have to be high to go through with it.
Like Olivia has said, here is a client who want to pay you 4,000 shillings when you are used to 500 shillings. And he want to use that way that Olivia is saying, that way of sex that is not natural to many of us. But here is money that you have seen. It is a pay for your whole month house rent. And it's for some minutes. So when you get high, you can be able to take the bite. Yes. Yeah. And so you take the bite. I think Olivia will tell us. Then you take the bite and you take the 4,000 shillings and agree on what you want. All right. We have repercussions of all this health-wise. And some come with those repercussions. Yes. I'm having this problem, because of this and this and that. Okay. You see? These are the people that we try to rehabilitate by talking. By counseling on how they can come out of it, by giving the seed capitals to other alternative businesses. They go to those businesses, all right, Carol, and they still do the other work, but not as they were used to do before. When you have got an alternative of another job, either a kiosk or even a business, even if you go to the work now, Olivia, if someone offers 4,000 shillings for that other unnatural way, you won't agree to it because you have got
choices.
Actually, you have choices. Actually, that is the right word.
All right. Barry, I know you have a question.
Yes, this is a hot topic. The texts keep coming. And the next one goes to her from Douglas. Douglas is wondering, since you're a founder of the organization, are there male sex workers, and do they come to you for help, or do you reach out to help them?
First, I'm not the founder of the organization. I'm only coordinating the programs.
All right.
Yes, we have, Keswa is diverse and we work with different types of sex workers.
Yes.
And we have male, female, and transgender sex workers in Kenya. And we have implementing partners who work with the male organizations and transgender organizations. The reason why we work with these 3 target groups is because we want them to access services, and mostly the integrated services. That is where we have to sensitize the health practitioners on issues affecting the male transgender sex workers, because not for female sex workers, it's okay. You can walk into any facility and access services.
But for the
male sex workers, it becomes a bit a challenge when someone is infected with an STI, and mostly the anal warts. So the doctors get shocked. So we have sensitized some of the health clinics. We have Casino in Nairobi. We have Mama Lucy, where they can have anal surgeries, and Gertrude's. We have different facilities that they can go and access services without stigma and discrimination, and they're not asked such questions. Ulitoa pi ugonjwa ikipitia. We also have women who are doing anal sex.
Oh my God. Okay. The details. But I read something about a John Madenge from your institution, I believe.
Yes, John Madenge is one of the founders of Keswa.
Is one of the founders. Okay, and he caters to male sex workers and MSM. What is MSM?
MSMs are male having sex with men, and MSWs are male sex workers. So there are 2 categories of MSMs and MSWs. MSMs are, it's just a man having sex with another man. But an MSW is a man who is selling sex.
Wow. Mr. Barry Moses.
All right, the texts keep coming and the guys keep typing. This gentleman asks, why do they target high school students?
Who in particular?
Who in particular? I'd like to know. All right, but as we try to figure out that, there's another one. Ask the lady if they accept sex without protection, and if they have ever got pregnant.
Oh, maybe Oliver.
Yes, anauliza kama if sometimes unaweza kubali kupeana service without protection.
Okay, si rahisi, lazima ukuwe umejiprotect. Juu ule mwanaume, unaweza pata mwanaume ule anakuambia yeye huwa hatumii condom. Na ukishajua mwanaume kama huyo, lazima ukiingia pale uko ushajieka hiyo condom ya wanawake ndani. Ndio ukuwe sasa kama hata tumia wewe utakuwa safe.
All right, makes a lot of sense.
I think I can emphasize that the government has really done a good job. NASCOP has made sure that we have enough condoms and lubricants, both male and female, and we are currently having dental dams everywhere. So in case that the venue that you are using does not have the purchased condoms, there are dispensers where you find the condoms, or even at the reception.
Okay. All right. Barry Moses, you've got our last comment, and then we can...
Yes, I wish it wasn't the last, because they're streaming so in large numbers. But this one is very interesting. Ann Mwalimu asks, do they tithe their earnings?
Do they?
Tithe.
Tithe. Of course, yes. I'm a
Christian. Unaenda kanisa?
Yes, why not? I'm a Christian, I go to church, and I have to
You're
tithe
killing
from
me.
what I'm earning.
Joyce, do you believe that? I want to hear what Joyce has to say. Do you feel it is conflict?
Yes. Yes. Okay, first of all,
yes.
I'm sorry to say this, but the Bible clearly states that the body is the temple of God.
Yes.
Okay? There is nowhere it's written that sell your body and then give me your 10% earning of it. Nothing. That one I will say for free. It's like, for example, it's like
a drug dealer.
Thieves,
Murderers.
Yeah.
You see, there are murderers who actually, before they go to murder, they pray.
Wow.
They actually pray. You see, a relationship with God is so different. You know, this is you and your God. It's a relationship, yes. But hakuna vile nitaenda, atawacha na Kiswahili usikie. Hakuna vile nitaenda kuiba ama kuua alafu niende nipatie God pesa ya damu.
Kwa Mungu amenihukumu.
No. You know, that is like, I'm not judging. That is like blood money. For me, okay, personally, that's my personal opinion, okay? Yes. Honestly, I cannot. Nikasa, okay, as you say, there are 3 categories of sex, indio. Of course, that ulisamata mwanamke mwenye ameolewa still, hiyo ni category ya sex.
Everybody is a sex worker.
That's what she said.
Everyone is a sex worker. Oh my God. How are we all sex workers?
All of us, we are sex workers.
I get
So what I want to say is this, sorry, let me cut you short. What I want to say is this. For example, maybe I have a boyfriend. I'm not married, yes, but I have this guy who gives me money, you know, in exchange of we're in a relationship, a sexual relationship.
Yes.
I won't lie to you. And then put your 10,000 deal, sit at 1,000 get God. I cannot do that. I mean that.
So wewe utoa sadaka gani? Kwa sababu hiyo pesa inatoka kwa mwanaume for exchange of your services.
Yes.
Wewe utoa wapi pesa ya sadaka?
Pesa. My goodness.
Utoa wapi pesa ya sadaka?
By the way,
that is money in exchange for the services.
Is there a clear difference between being a sex worker and those ladies who have sponsors?
I want to come
There's
there,
no
Carol,
So there's no difference between the women who have sponsors. Mimi nikisema niko na sponsor na nanipatia.
You have the sponsor because you want that car in exchange for services.
Now, Carol, we differ. Now, we differ. Okay. We are differing with the Carol now here. Carol, if everybody is a sex worker, then we must get a borderline between a commercial sex worker and a sex worker.
We cannot.
If a woman in this country and in the world is going to be a sex worker because she has a man that she has in the bedroom, then let her be the sex worker, the woman who has got a man in the bedroom, and let the one who is going to source out there be the commercial sex worker.
And I said very well, we have nothing like commercial, but for them that are going out, if you find me on Standard Street selling sex, I am a prepaid sex worker, you are a sex worker on contract on that bed. We're good. So,
Ladies, okay. We need to wrap up. We need to wrap up, ladies, because you know we can go. And I think I'm buying everyone lunch on this set because this discussion needs to go on and on.
We don't have managers. No, a social ill is a social ill.
Okay.
We don't have managers on contract, Carol.
Okay.
Okay. We don't have managers on contract. If we don't put this right on the air, we don't have marriages on contract. We have religions in this country, and that is why we have the rights of worship in this country. And let me say this: even churches are rehabilitated sex workers. And before you change your ways to get an alternative way of living, that church won't get tithe from you. So, Carol, I respect the work of sex workers, and from today, if need be, I'll be calling them sex workers and not commercial sex workers. But we must rehabilitate and empower our women to a next notch. I would love to have 10,000 women from the 40,000 I know about reach your level, so that they don't need to be going to 12 hours and sleep at 4 o'clock with their children knowing where they have come from.
So let's do this. Let's start with Madam Chania here. Madam Chania, okay, fine. Now that you're in rehabilitation, how are you going to be able now to let those watching that they can receive help, and what are you going to be doing for someone, for example, like Olive? Yes. Real quick.
For those who are in sex work and they would want to leave, we offer counseling services. We also get alternatives of a better way of living, either by offering funds from those organizations that fund for those people who want to do alternative businesses. Even for Keswa, we can have people to promote them further, because in the same organization, for those who are there part-time or on call, they can still leave it, and we can have them go talk to for others to be where they are, because as I say again on this platform, Caro is very empowered. And she can have 10,000 more empowered if she can also have those platforms to do it in a wider way than Keswa only.
All right, so before we sign out on this particular segment, Barry Moses, 2 more comments before we get Olive's last words. And
we
Carol's
had so
last
many
words.
texts today. Sorry to those of whom we are not going to read theirs, but this one is not a question, it's a comment, and I think it's directed to her. I don't have a say if they type their earnings. Thumbs up.
Okay. All right.
And one last one, which is not a question as well. All right. Yes. I think this is a question now. Do sex workers find partners willing to marry them? Is there a situation where a sex worker falls in love and is willing to quit the business?
Yes, a sex worker is a woman and a human being and has feelings like any other woman there. And a woman needs to have a man who will give her comfort. You always need to have a chest to lean on. So even sex workers do fall in love because they are human beings.
Yes. And as we had, there are some who are married, some who are dating.
And they also get good husbands from the clubs back to their homes.
But you said, sorry.
And later they continue.
Okay, ladies, my director is on my case. But Barry, we want one more text, and then these ladies.
This is my last one this time for real. But before I read the last one, remember the poll is on Twitter, Y254 channel on Twitter. The tweet is pinned, so head straight to our Twitter handle and cast your vote. So my last text is directed to her, the lady
Joy.
with the mic.
Oh, Joy.
Yes, there's a brother who says, "Uodem ameshika mic nimempenda."
Hey, okay.
I'm
single.
This is not.
You see, she's already selling.
Oh my God. Okay, Joyce, what are your final words, tafadhali, as Barry's?
That's how it starts.
All right, this has been an amazing segment. Thank you for all your views and your comments. And I'll remind you, our social media handles don't change. Y254 channel on Twitter, Y254TV on Instagram, and Y254 on Facebook. Or you can hit me up at It's Barry Mo. Back to you, Shiko.
Okay, Joy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Last words, and then we can say goodbye.
Okay, last words. I think personally, unaweza pata kazi ingine apart from that one. Because I'm not judging you or anything. Because when I look at you, your eyes, I can tell there's some pain in her.
There's pain in her.
But I will not judge you at all. I mean, I wouldn't judge. I don't even judge these ladies at all. I don't judge them at all. But to me, what I would say is, I'm a very staunch Christian. I'm sorry. I'm not against it though. But isn't there something you can do apart from sex working? Isn't there?
Nikipata nitafanya.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Olive. Olive, ungependa kusema nini tukimalizia?
Sorry,
Okay,
Olive.
tunaweza sema ni
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being so brave today.
niko very happy meet na nyinyi. Nafurahia sana, at least nimelearn kitu pia.
Yes.
Imeniingia hapa nikienda pia wale wako huko pia nijaribu kuwavuruta tuchange life yetu.
Thank you.
Okay, and you know you're always welcome, eh? Unaweza sema Y254 tunaweza wapigia
Kabisa.
All right, Carol. Yes, in one line.
Okay. In one line.
Yes.
One soft one.
Let us see sex workers as women. And as we all know that women are the backbone of the society. We are the pillars of the society.
Yes.
So we reduce stigma against sex workers because we want these women to live in a better way.
Yes.
And to also raise their kids in better ways so that we do not have a situation where we have so many kids not going to school, we have orphaned kids. And finally, killing a sex worker does not kill sex work. Fighting a sex worker does not fight sex work. Abusing a sex worker does not abuse sex work.
Yes.
Sex work is the oldest industry in the world, and we all have to look at it in a way that all these are human beings and we treat them equal, with have rights like any other person.
All right.
Sex workers' rights are human rights.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we sure hope that you have learned something, a thing or two, from today's discussion. And even just, I think our audiences, by the way, now this is eye-opening to see that it is happening here in our society. And of course, you are more than welcome to continue sending in your contributions to today's discussion. But I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, ladies, for being so brave enough to actually have a discussion that not many would be daring enough to talk about and even just face it, yeah? Especially to Olive, thank you so much. Asante sana, vile nimeshukuru, eh? Okay. Thank you to Carol Jorge, who is the programs coordinator at the Kenya Sex Workers Alliance. Oliver Cheng, who is our sex worker from Mathare North, representing all the ladies there. And of course, Joyce Gunje, a contributor to the show. And last but not least, Madam Chania herself, the founder of Right at Home Rehabilitation Center. Be sure to keep it Y in the morning. We do have more.